you up
Look me up.
in Google,
Oops.
which said that you are the wife of Nandan Nilekeni,
Yeah.
the chief of Infosys. Then I wondered how you got to be the moderator for this session about writing under threat. What experience do you have or did you have with threats? I would have thought that you're on the other side of those who threaten.
Yeah, I
Isn't
can
it
be
true
quite
that
aggressive.
Infosys recently laid off tens of thousands of employees? You hold in your power the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands that are under threat of losing their jobs any moment. And also the Aadhaar is a threat for everybody's freedom of speech. It's a mass surveillance. It will affect the political activity or activism, anything that we do against the government. And also, I was surprised to see Sowendra say that you had to get permission from government to write a book. That is very threatening for writers.
Thank you so much for those comments. I really appreciate your ability to come on the stage and say that so freely and openly, thanks to our democracy. Anybody agrees with that? So no, you're quite right to ask questions like this, but I don't want to get into. I just want to ask you one thing. That I'm surprised that you are talking about me as a wife and not as an individual, for one thing, and so. I don't want to get into unnecessary controversies because literary fests sometimes have become, bashing fest, which I find reduces the space for those nuances that I opened up this discussion on. So I respect that you should ask this. I think I belong to the 1% that is becoming increasingly powerful in this world. And unfortunately, that's one of the things people are afraid of, that how come the powerful become more powerful? How come big becomes bigger? What happens to the small voice? How does the small voice, how do the people who are denied of their rights be able to find new platforms to come together? These have been respectful challenges, respectable challenges all through history, and unfortunately they remain so. And but do answer that about how you as a writer, okay, faced some kind of opposition from your own family when you wrote about them or about their experiences. And then I'll quickly move to the next question for you and then move back to our other panelists. That you live in New York, right? You live away from India. And therefore, what perspective does that give you of India from that distance? And what do you think would happen if you were actually living here and being able to speak as freely as you do now? These two questions, please. The first one about me as a wife.
Actually, it was not I who said that you were the wife of Nandan Nilekeni. It's Google. The Wikipedia said that. I typed your name and it said wife of Nandan Nilekeni. So I'm not the anti-woman here. And secondly, about writing, I don't think I could ever publish this book in India. There is a saying in Telugu that unless the water is poured through the conch, it doesn't become holy water. It's like that. My book got rave reviews in New York with the Western audience, and I feel that the Indian publishers had to take it up. As for threats, if I were in India, I don't think I would have ever written this book, especially from the point of view of a Dalit and also as a Marxist. Well, right now, America seems to have a bit more freedom than India, but that is also very much under threat.
And what should be done under those circumstances when writing is not free? What should writers do? Should they keep writing? You said you would not have published or been able to publish perhaps, right, if you're in India. So in that case, what should writers do? Because these two have written. They have written in India, they have faced the threats, they have promised to continue writing. So in that context, what would you say?
I'm not sure, it depends on what the threat is. If I'm going to be jailed and tortured, probably I wouldn't write. But right now, I really don't have an advice for writers how to write, how to express themselves under conditions of mass surveillance. through Aadhaar here and through USA's Patriotic Act and Homeland Security in America, I really don't have an advice. And I do think that books don't change society. It's the struggle in the society that influences writing of the writers. So I'm writing in the context of the Dalit struggles. I'm writing in the context of workers' struggles in all over India, including women garment workers in Bangalore. That is the context that influenced my writing. I won't be able to influence them to go on a struggle for freedom and justice.
What do you think, Sowendra? Sujatha says she doesn't know if she would be able to write and publish in India. You have